now the news on channel 1215. Here's Zakia with your century update.
Thanks, Lydia. So the Tudor reign has been over after 117 years. Let's take it back and highlight the Tudor days. After the Battle of Roses between Lancaster and York, Henry Tudor won, of course. Everyone saw that coming except when he married Elizabeth of York. They were third cousins, which is slightly appalling. Within his reign, Columbus discovered the West Indies. John Cabot left for the sea route to Asia, but discovered North America instead. After Columbus discovered the Caribbean Sea and Trinidad, thousands of people were killed by the plague in 1499. After Henry VII died, of course his son Henry VIII took over, restoring political stability in England. King James IV was killed in the Battle of Flodden, and Scotland now had an 18-month-old king. King Henry was not able to get a divorce with Catherine of Aragon, so he married Anne Boleyn. And the Church of England was formed. The first Bible in English was printed, and Cromwell helped in the destruction of monasteries all over England. The last thing Henry VIII did was invade France. Edward VI became king, and many colleges were opened. Lady Jane Grey ruled for 14 days and then got killed. What a long time. Mary I becomes queen, marries Philip II of Spain, and then Elizabeth starts her reign of 45 years. Drake sails around the world, and Queen of Scots ends up dying. The first William Shakespeare performance is made, and as England becomes involved with India, the Queen dies, and King James of Scotland arose. The Tudors worked with Parliament and believed in divine right. Could James do the same? Here's Lydia on the Stuarts' rule.
Thanks, Zakia, for that 117-year roundup. I'm here today to interview one of the Stuarts themselves. Hello, Charles I. How are you today?
Hello, Lydia. Thank you for having me. I'm swell.
Tell me a little bit about James I.
Elizabeth died unmarried in 1603, and her heir was her relative, James Stuart. Immediately after becoming king, he clashed with the Parliament. James scolds Parliament for oppressing royal power, and Parliament responds with the declaration of its own rights. James also clashed with the dissenters and the Puritans. They called for similar services and a more democratic church without bishops, and James rejected their demands.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I inherited the throne in 1625, and I also engaged a struggle for power with the Parliament. The Parliament in 1628 pronounced the Petition of Rights.
What is the Petition of Rights?
A document prohibiting the king from raising taxes without the Parliament's consent or from jailing anyone without legal justification.
I heard about the short Parliament. Now tell me a little bit about the long Parliament.
The Long Parliament started in 1640 and was on and off until 1653. The Parliament was first called by me 6 months after the dissolution of the defeat of the English. The Parliament was expelled in 1653.
Thank you so much for being here to talk to me about this.
Thank you for having me.
Now to you, Yahats, to talk about the Civil War and the Commonwealth.
The English Civil War was a series of wars between the Cavaliers, led by Charles I, and those who supported the Roundheads, led by Oliver Cromwell. The main reason for this war was because Charles was raising a Catholic son in a Protestant nation. Those who supported the king were known as Cavaliers because they fought on horses and they wore fancy clothes. The Roundheads supported the Parliament, had short hair, and wore simple clothes. Now here is Cromwell sharing his opinion on the war.
Before I joined the Parliament, I was part of the English military and a political leader. I was very religious, and I hated the fact that they added golden crosses in the Protestant church. We are not the Catholic, therefore our customs may differ. Later, I was elected to be part of the Parliament. I played an important role in the defeat of the king. I was on the Parliament side, and I taught them new strategies to help them defeat the king. Later after, I was elected Lord Protector of England. and I established the Commonwealth.
Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
After Charles I was killed, England, Ireland, and Scotland became a republican, or known as the Commonwealth. Power was held by the Council of the State. The government was known as the Protectorate, which Cromwell was the head of. They declared monarchy unnecessary. Now back to you, Zakia.
See you next time on English Absolutism.